Hello to YouTube. I did just upload a video about 5 things I hate about my 2013 Mazda 6, and right now I'm just gonna go ahead and make the 5 things I love about my 2013 Mazda 6. So getting started here, some things I love about this car, and yeah, you can see that there's mice have been in there, I know, but 5 things I really love about this car is the to start with, I love how this little 4-cylinder delivers the power. I did make a comment in my last video about the 5 things I hate. I hate the fact that it's only a 4-cylinder. I wish it was the V6, but the way that this little 4-cylinder makes its power, once you get up to about 3,000 RPMs, this thing just takes off for a 4-cylinder because it's naturally aspirated. Usually naturally aspirated engines make better power in the higher engine RPM bands than a um, like a turbocharged would make more power low end sometimes. But like we have a 2015 Toyota Camry. That one has a exact same size engine, but it claims it makes 10 more horsepower in this car. That thing is so torquey down low. You hit the gas and that thing just takes off at the very grunt. Like it kicks you back. And here comes another car. But that one will kick you back in the seat once you hit the gas. I mean, it throws you back. But once you get up to like 4,000 RPMs, it kind of like dogs out. It's just like it becomes a dog, and it just kind of like, it goes. And then this one, once you hit the gas, I mean, if you get your shifts down right, and you get to second gear and you get this thing at 2,000 or 3,000 RPMs, 3,500, and you hammer down, this thing will typically outgun that Toyota. That Toyota is quicker off the line, but once you get to about 30 miles an hour or so, and this one's in its second gear, it'll typically keep pulling and pulling and pulling a lot farther than that Toyota will. And that's just, I mean, some engines are like that. But this, I love the torque being high end like that. It's just kind of nice, especially if you're on the throughway, and you need to pass somebody, and you're in like 6th gear, and you shift down like 4th. I mean, that thing will just, even in 6th gear, it's pretty torquey at 3,000 RPMs. But that's just one of the things I do like about this engine. Even though it's only a 4-cylinder, it is one of the things that I do like about this engine. That's number one. That's the first thing I like about this engine, or this car, I mean. Number two, my number two favorite thing about this car has to be the cornering ability. This thing corners like a dream. I mean, you might not think that from a $15,000 Mazda of all things. I mean, you think like cornering, you think like, more sporty car, something like a Mustang, or, well, not maybe a Mustang. That's not really, that's the opposite. That's more of a straight line. Something like, a Honda Civic Type R, whatever they are nowadays. I don't even know, Golf, something like that. This car corners exceedingly well. I mean, I'm always impressed by this car's cornering ability. I mean, I impressed my friends and stuff with cars and stuff that this thing corners so well. It's got wishbone suspension, independent front suspension, and independent rear wishbone suspension, and it makes cornering so amazing. It's really quite awesome the way how amazing this thing is at cornering. I love it. So my other thing, that's number two. So number three, for things that I really love about this car, is just the interior space. I love how, I know it's kind of a mess in the back seat, but this back seat has loads of space for sitting back there. It's really comfortable in the back, actually. And the trunk is just huge. Once you open that trunk, I can't open the trunk because it was rear. Well, actually, I can't open it. It's just really messy. But this trunk, once you open it, it just has tons of space in the back. I mean, I could probably fit in there. If you put I could fit in there, and I'm a big guy. I'm 5'8". I mean, I'm not tall per se, but I'm I'm big guy as in I weigh quite a bit, and I could fit in here. I mean, especially if you put those back seats over there, if you put those seats down, I could lay out flat in this thing, no problem with sleeping here if I wanted to. This thing just got loads of space in it, and I absolutely love it. So that's number three. Number four, I gotta say, and I will always say this, is the fact that it has that glorious thing right there in the middle. Right here, it's got a manual. Favorite thing is it's got a manual. So that's one of the best things about this car, is the fact that it's a manual. It's a little bit messy in here, so I'm sorry about that. But that's number four, is the fact that it's a manual is just amazing. They don't make enough of them anymore because not a lot of people like driving them for whatever reason. It's really sad, but but that's my other favorite thing. Um, but I'd say, it might sound crazy, but my favorite thing about this car, one of my favorite things, anyways, it's a toss up between the manual and this, is the fact that it has that right there, a key. It has a key, meaning you take the key out, you stick it into the little hole right there, and then you turn it over, and then there you go. The car starts. That is one of my favorite things about this car. Is the fact that it has a darn key. I mean, it's such a simple thing. Many people think maybe like that's kind of dumb. Why is that like a favorite thing? I hate push button start. I always have. I just don't like them. I mean, it's just such an annoyance having the push button start. I mean, I think it's an annoyance anyway. Um, Having to go over, like, you have to push the brake in, then start it. And now I understand the whole pushing the brake thing in. That doesn't bother me. But with most automatic cars that have a key thing, you don't have to push the brake in. You just put the key in and you start it. It's really nice because it's already in park. But this one, with a manual, there's the 3 pedals, your gas to the right, brake in the middle, clutch to the left. In order to start this car, because it's a manual, you have to push the brake in, or the clutch, to start it. Just like that. Now, the reason this is a favorite thing of mine is because the push button starts, I honestly don't like them. I just don't like the whole having, push button, you have to carry the key in your pocket or whatever, this one, I always know where the key is because I have to have it. You have to have the key to start it. You have to know where it is. You have to be able to take it out at an instant's notice so you can have it ready. You can have it readily available. Whereas a push button, my mother, she always is looking for the key in her purse or whatnot. She's left it in the truck, in our Toyota. She leaves them in the cars all the time, so somebody can just walk in and get into the vehicle and be gone. I know it's kind of stupid, but it's so easily done nowadays that somebody could just easily, if they have the key, let's say this is a key fob and it's a push button start, they go start the car, they have it in their hand, they put it down the cup holder, and they drive off, and they're driving, they pull over, they get out to go into the gas station or whatnot, somebody just happens to glance in, oh, there's keys down there, oh, okay, they get in and start it. And a lot of push button starts have keyless entry, which is another thing. I'm kind of a fan of it. I kind of understand it. I do enjoy it when there's like, you have stuff in your hands. I kind of get that, but I know some keys that have the ignition thing on the side there do have keyless entry, but the whole keyless entry thing, if you leave your key in the car and you lock it, you can't get it. You can just jump right in because somebody can open the door because of the keyless entry. This car, if I lock the door, so the doors are locked, the key is right there, I cannot open this door. So I have the windows up. I leave the key in here by accident and whatnot. I have to use a spare to get in. There's no keyless entry, which I do like. And that's just me. So now I have to, obviously either press this button to unlock it, either do that, or I'd have to use the key itself to undo it. And plus, when keyless batteries, if your battery dies, you're pretty much screwed. Like, if the battery in the key itself, in the back of the key, dies, you can't start it. You can't unlock it. It doesn't have the keyless entry anymore. And you can't even start the car. There's certain ways, I know with certain cars, is like they have like little things in the dash where you would like, take the key and insert it into the dash somewhere or something like that. I'm sure a lot of vehicles do have that, but our Ford Explorer we have, a 17 Ford Explorer and a 2015 Toyota Camry, neither one of those I could find for the dead battery in the key. And it's really quite stupid, I think, that they had to deal with this. That's just one of my main things, is just the key. I love it. My truck keys are right here. They're the same way, obviously. It's got the key, stick it in there and turn it over. That's another thing I like about that. But, and I kind of guess an honorable mention of the things I really love is the fact that this does not have that stop-start thing. So every time you stop at a light, it doesn't stop. It doesn't just, the engine doesn't cut out. It doesn't start up as soon as you left the brake. I do not like that. That is one of the most annoying things to me. Besides the push button start, is the thing that, when you press the brake and you're sitting at a stoplight, you're just sitting there chilling, and then the engine will die, and then you let off the brake, and then the engine comes back to life. I can't stand that, and I can tell you because I worked on cars. I know what the companies say, like Ford would say, or a salesperson will say, oh, it doesn't bother the engine. They have more heavy duty this, and it will kill your battery, it will kill your starter, and it can kill your exhaust, your spark plugs, your pistons. It'll ultimately hurt the longevity of all those components. Your alternator, all of it, because it's always going on off, on off, on off. That's like, if you go and you start your, a four wheel or a snowmobile, you keep turning it off, turning it on, turning it off, turning. Do that about 1,000 times in 10 minutes, or whatever, or not 1,000. Do that about 100 times in one day. Just keep turning the snowmobile or the four wheel or your car if you have one of these. Just keep turning on, off, on. Do it like every single time you start the vehicle and stop at a red light or something. It will get old, and those things will not. Those things will tend to fail a lot sooner. So that's another thing. That's just an honorable mention I don't like, is the whole stop start, which I'm glad this doesn't have. And I don't think they even have that in manuals, because if you stop in a manual, you have to kind of give it a little bit of gas just to get it going sometimes. So I mean, I don't think they have that in the manual. So if you buy a current day manual, odds are it probably won't have start stop, and odds are if you do buy a manual, it will have the key because you have to push the clutch in. But that's just my thoughts on that. I'm not 100% sure. This is a 2013. It's not brand new. So, but that's just my 2 cents on this car. And that kind of goes hand in hand with a lot of cars. Like if a lot of cars have similar things, then I'd like those similar to like if this car is a 2013 and I buy one and I buy this exact same car, but it's a 2019 and it has all like a very similar things that I like in this car, and I don't like that car, odds are. But yeah, that's just my 5 things I love about this car. I hope you all enjoy. Have a great day.